I have a question. Why are Polish people so afraid of success?
Boom!
In all my years dealing with Polish people, I've encountered something very interesting. Despite having survived wars, economic turmoil, some of the worst things that a culture can experience, and being smart people, resourceful people, for whatever reason, they are terrified of having success. They're scared or afraid or maybe ashamed of standing out, being singled out, being pointed at. And of course, not being pointed at from the perspective of being the butt of the joke or ridiculed. No. I'm talking about doing something so big, becoming so successful that all of a sudden you cannot be ignored. They don't like this. And I've tried to wrap my head around that because where I come from, we live every day trying to rise to the top. We want to achieve excellence and we want others to notice it. The truth is that I've been thinking about this for years now because Poles are so hardworking, like incredibly hardworking. You're gonna be pressed to find a culture and a group of people that will work as hard as Poles. It's like they laser focus on the task. They don't mess around. Yet somehow, I feel that a lot of people here live doing just enough to achieve a certain level of comfortability in their lives that will allow them to go on some holidays, make some decent money. But it's like it lacks a little bit of this drive, not only to, become the very best at something, but to be recognized doing so. But this video is not really to shame Polish people, not at all. I find it very interesting and I find it like a nice social experiment to try to decipher this from the perspective of an outsider that has a leg inside. There's of course a lot of historical explanation to this. I think that Poles lived very difficult times where standing out would potentially mean that you might lose everything you have, because by standing out, people will want to take what is yours, or the authorities might come for you. I will say though that I see a difference without a single shadow of a doubt. There is a difference. I think younger generations are a lot more daring, and as a matter of fact, I think that some of them really want to stand out. They want to show what they have. But then this leads us to something else, which is that in Poland, standing out comes with a little bit of baggage. It's not seen well. People don't celebrate your success here in Poland, at least not traditionally. When you start finding success, whether that is financial success or work, people start pointing their finger. They start asking if you found a shortcut to achieve what you achieved. In other words, kombinowałeś? Instead of your success creating inspiration, it just creates tension. At least that's what I've been told by Poles. The thing is that people, sadly, start downplaying their ambitions. Like their dreams, either they don't think about them too much, for sure they don't talk about them too much. And oftentimes people just lose sight of what their goals and their ambitions are because they know, or at least they assume, that people are gonna be just basically giving them shit for either achieving something or for expressing what their goals are. But there is something else that plays one of the major parts in Polish people not wanting to pursue their dreams and find success. And that's not the people, like others. That is a system. Polish system is extremely convoluted. It's almost set up for you to fail. Countries like the United States, England, so many people have found success in those countries. They've built something from zero. The system helps them out. The system is organized and designed. The rules are all laid out in a way so that people can actually make use of them very easily, find from A to Z all the steps that they need to follow in order to achieve success. Because if you achieve success, then the country also benefits from that. But in Poland, all the complicated bureaucracy, the constant changing tax rules, you don't feel supported. You feel tested, almost as if the system is literally trying to prove that you are doing something wrong or illegal, or you want to cut some corners. And this really, really matters because, especially for young people that have a dream and have a goal of succeeding, they don't feel a warm embrace. No, they just feel like it's a cold, harsh environment that they have to try and survive. And that does not lead to a good mental state when it comes to covering the distance that exists between your idea, your dreams, your goals, and here, the success. This trajectory right there, you're basically fighting an almost losing battle. You almost feel like you are gonna be ridiculed. It's very difficult for a country to really grow if its people have to apologize for their ambitions. And yeah, you're gonna tell me, well, Poles seem to be doing quite all right, you know, even with their fear. But are they really? I mean, yes, they are. But imagine the potential that is being lost because of that. It totally feels like Poland is still living in a survival mode. The mentality is that of just surviving at all costs. When, you know, we are now living in a world of boldness. People that are bold, people that go for their dreams in a way that is unapologetic. That's how these days you achieve real success. But if you want to ask me, JT, then what is your definition of success? Is it economical? Is it what? That's a good question. I just mean, whatever is in your mind and in your heart, what do you want? Then going for it, trying to achieve it, not apologizing for thinking the way you're thinking. Because listen, Poles have dreams. This is not Poland from right after the war, where people did not have any dreams and they were just on a day-to-day survival quest. Come on, Poles are going abroad, they're living in other countries, gaining experience, they're traveling, they're going on holidays to countries like the Dominican Republic, but it has to be done with a slight change of mindset. And hey, I'm not here to tell Poles what they should do, but I also believe that a very big part of them would love to be able to unlock that thing inside of themselves that would allow them to go and basically not give a f without thinking about the neighbor or the parent or the sister that is constantly criticizing or whatever. But what I really worry about is the emotional impact that this has on the society. Slowly, when you stop believing in yourself, when you stop achieving or trying to achieve your bigger goals, then you slowly start becoming a little bit more like those that were criticizing you. You become resentful. You were not able to achieve your dreams, so then you slowly get pissed when someone else is trying to achieve their dreams. This is a very, very dangerous road to go down to. I don't think everything's lost. I think the new generation in Poland, the younger generation, as I love to call it, is doing something good. They are trying new things, starting internet businesses. They are importing ideas from different parts of the world, including Asia. You cannot imagine something like that happening 40 years ago, 50 years ago in Poland. Someone thinking then, you're gonna bring some idea from further away part of the world that no one knows anything about. I don't know, I feel positive, still a little bit worried and scared, but positive that Poland might eventually overcome this fear of success. What do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments. I read everything. Bye.